guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, then my name is Kashish, and in today's video, I'm gonna be talking about all the books that I read in the month of January. I read a total of 8 books. Two were fantasy romances, two were murder mysteries, and the other four were romance books. And you know what? Let's just get started because I'm really excited to talk about all the books that I've read this month. Okay, so firstly, we have Tokyo Ever After by Emiko Jean. So this book was chosen for my January TBR, and I definitely enjoyed reading it so much. I mean, I've been putting this book off for so long, but I'm so glad that I finally read it because I really enjoyed it so much. It is such a cute rom-com, and like it really reminded me of Princess Diaries. And it's just that I loved Izumi, our main character. I mean, her character is so witty and so relatable at times, and I just really enjoyed the author's writing and the way this book has been written in such a comedic way that I really enjoy reading it. Like, I was laughing at every other page. I definitely loved the romance in this book. It was so cute. Like, Akio and Izumi are so perfect, and I mean, the princess bodyguard romance like always hits because it's like forbidden romance, and forbidden romance when done right can just be like a very great trope to read about. And other than that, I really loved reading about the Japanese culture as well in this book. It's just that the only thing that felt lacking for me was that I really didn't feel the connection between Izumi and her dad. I mean, that's what she went to Japan for, but somewhere or the other, it didn't feel that way. I mean, he didn't neglect her in the start, that's what I feel. But like he did, you know, come to her by the end, and they did have more of a better relationship. But I don't know, I feel like the whole point of her of going to Tokyo was to meet her dad and form a relationship with him, which I felt was a little lacking in this one. So I'm really hoping that in book 2 I definitely get more of that as well as the romance, and I am really looking forward to reading book 2 and seeing how this will end. And after that, I read The Queen of the Dawn by SM Gaither. Okay, so this was the last book of the Shadows and the Crown series. I mean, it's been such a difficult task for me to finish this book and this series. I started it last year. There are 5 books in the series, and it's taken me more than a year to finish it. So it started off great. I mean, I loved the first book. I loved the main characters, the couple, the friendships, and everything. But it's just that after book 1, the plot line just seemed to went downhill. And after that, every single book has such a slow start. Like in every single book, I felt like till 70% there's actually nothing happening, and only the last 30% of the book was what kept me hooked to this series or to start the next book. And it's just that every single time I used to start the next book in the series, I would always end up feeling that I'm gonna go in a slump, so I just stop it there, and then I pick up that book after 2 3 months and then just try to finish it off. Because I mean, the author is so good at ending the book at cliffhangers, but other than that, it's just in between it felt very lacking, and I just felt that this book did not need 5 books. I feel like it would have been perfect as a trilogy also. It just felt like not much was happening, and by the last book, the plot just felt very underwhelming, and everything just wrapped up so quickly when it could have been paced so better along the 5 books. So, I mean, I feel like the series could have been so much better for me, but I don't know, somewhere or the other, it just didn't hit for me in the end. And I gave this 3 stars. And after that, I have Wedlocked by Era Mabel. It is a cute short read. It is an arranged marriage desi romance, and it's a nice read if you're looking to read something like this. And I gave it 3 stars. And after that, I read One Night Stand. So this is a murder mystery, and I loved reading this book. I mean, I got this as an arc from Penguin, and I definitely wasn't gonna read it this month. I randomly picked it up the day it came, and I just started reading it, and I was hooked. Like, I was reading this book for the next 3 days, and it was just so easy to read. I mean, the writing is just so simple, and I feel like the author has paced this book perfectly. Like, every single chapter and every single way how the chapter ends, you just want to go to the next one. And I just really enjoyed that. It was such a seamless and an entertaining experience, reading experience for me. And I mean, I did kind of guess the killer, but I still like had some, pieces missing here and there which were not right. But definitely enjoyed reading this book, and I loved the romance as well. I mean, it's the perfect, romantic thriller if that's what you're looking for. If you want romance, but you also want the feel of an investigation or a murder mystery, then I will definitely recommend this book to you. And after that, I read Fixation by Sapna Bhog. So, this has to be my favorite read of January. This is the third book of the Fatal Attraction series, and this is about Vedant and Reina. So basically, Vedant comes into an accident, and Reina is the doctor on board. So she saves his life, and Vedant's brother, since they are, very rich and they have a lot of enemies, he, kidnaps the whole medical team that who was looking after his brother, and then, had them detained in their house and being like, you have to take care of him till the time he recovers, and I will pay you so much money and blah blah blah. I mean, Mihir is a bit over the top, but I mean, I love this series, I love these characters, and it's just that this one was also so perfect. I loved the romance. I just feel like these characters are just so perfect for each other. Like, never for a second I felt like they are just not good for each other or they don't deserve each other, but it's just that they are just too good, too perfect. The romance was spot on. I enjoyed, meeting the characters from the other books as well. And I always enjoy when the whole family gathers. And I love how the Ushnov brothers are finally getting into the Mehra family, and it's just getting the love that they should be getting. And I'm just so excited for Ananya and Mihir's book. That will be the last book in this series. I definitely recommend this book if you're looking for Desi characters but set in Dubai or in London. And yeah, definitely recommend this. I gave this 4.25 stars. And after that, I read Married with Malice by Cora Brent. So these are the books that I read on my Kindle. So this is also another arranged marriage mafia romance, and this was also so fun to read. I mean, the banter was spot on. These characters were just so good. I loved the communication between them. I loved how obsessed Luca was with her, and it's just that they are like childhood enemies to lovers. I mean, they played pranks on each other when they were in high school, and it's just that when you finally get to know that he's been obsessed with her since then, I mean, I really loved reading that part. And I mean, this book does not glorify mafia romance a lot, it just shows how mafia, or like being in the mafia, is not the best thing ever. So, I mean, I wouldn't say it leans on to a very mafia romance trope, but it definitely covers the arranged marriage and the my wife moments for sure. And after that, these are the two books that I read an arc of. So firstly, I have The Infected Wishes by VS Amitesh. So this is a YA fantasy, and it's an alternate reality book which has magic, monsters, curses, and spells. And it's gonna be releasing on 6th February, so do check it out if you're looking for a new fantasy series. And I definitely had a fun time reading it. I feel like the author's imagination in regards to the world building and everything was so good, and I'm looking forward to seeing what else he comes up with. And after that, I read hashtag Sion by Suvika. So this is the second book of the hashtag series. The first book was hashtag Reunion. And I read it last month, and I absolutely loved that book. I mean, it is freaking amazing. The murder mystery, the romance, it's just the perfect balance of both. And this is the continuation of that series. I mean, the plot is different, it's a political thriller in this one, but the characters remain the same, and it's just a continuation of their love life in a different murder mystery or a political thriller scenario. So I definitely enjoyed reading it so much. I actually just finished it on 31st, and I mean, I kind of no, I mean, I was technically wrong. The person I guessed or who I thought would be the killer was not the one, but I definitely love the plot twist that Suvika gives us in her books, and I was so happy to meet Ray and SP Saab again. I mean, so it's an Indian murder mystery for sure, and it's just been written so well. So this one also has a lot of information about Indian politics and how everything connects to it. And I mean, it was very fun to read, and I was just amazed by the amount of research that the author has put into the book. And I definitely recommend this series if you're looking for the perfect balance between a romance and a thriller book. But I would definitely say that you will have to start with hashtag reunion, because this is a continuation and you would miss out on the romance if you start from the second book. So, yes, these are all the books that I read in the month of Jan, and I definitely had a good reading month. I did not have a five-star read, but I definitely enjoyed almost all the books that I read this month. And also, I had to also tell you guys that I'm not going to be doing a February TBR video because I only finished one book from my January TBR, which was Tokyo Ever After. So I'm just gonna take that January TBR and keep it as my February TBR, because I really want to read all those books in that TBR, and I'm just going to replace Tokyo Ever After with the second book, so that just makes five books again. And I also have a lot of arcs to go through this month, so that's why I don't want to choose five other books and put so much pressure on me to read them. I'm just going to finish this TBR in February, and hopefully we can have a new one in March. So, do let me know your favorite read of January. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye.